I'm Mike James, and in this tutorial I'm going to use the calculator to graph a function. In this example we're given f of x equals x times cosine x for x between 0 and 6. In part A we have to find the derivative of f of x. If you look at x times cosine x, it's clearly a product, so we're going to use the product rule to find the derivative of the function. So f dash x equals, we keep the first part constant, which is x, multiply that by the derivative of the second part, and if you differentiate cosine x you get minus sine x, plus keep the second part constant, which is cosine x, and if you differentiate the first part, which is x, the derivative of x is just 1. I'm going to tidy this up. There we have it. That's the answer to the first part. You can't simplify cosine x minus x sine x any further. In part B we have to sketch this derivative function on the grid below. Now the first thing you should realize is that because we use calculus to differentiate this function, and also by looking at the scale, x must be in radians and not degrees. Now one obvious point that this curve will pass through is given when x is 0, f dash of 0 is equal to cosine of 0, which is 1, minus 0 times sine 0, which is 0, so the graph will pass through 0, 1. Other than that, we really need to use the calculator to get the general shape of this function. So I'm going to go into the calculator, and add graphs. I'm just going to change the view, and I'm going to enter the function now at the bottom, which is cosine of x. Now it's important you put the x in brackets, minus x times, and hit the multiplication sign, the x should be in brackets as well, and hit enter. Now this graph is incorrect because the calculator is in degree mode and not radian mode. I'm going to change the settings. Go to graphs and geometry and change degree to radians. Make default, and we get the correct graph. Just move this out of the way. And we're only interested in this part of the graph here between x is 0 and x is 6. And when you copy it onto the grid, you want to ensure that you put the main important points in. Ensure you put the point 0, 1 in, because the graph passes through that point, and it also passes through the x-axis just to the left of x is 1, and the minimum point is about minus 3.2, and then it crosses the x-axis at about 3.4. So copy these points quite accurately, the x-intercepts and the minimum point and the y-intercept there. And finally put the maximum point in, which is just above 5. And when you come back, make sure that the graph stops at x equals 6, because remember we're just graphing it within the domain 0 to 6, including 0 and 6. So you just copy that part of the graph onto the grid, and you've answered the question.